What's going on, Alabama fans? Chris Dasher here with the Alabama Football Report by Chat Sports, doing our instant reaction for Alabama's 27-24 win over number 14 Missouri. You wish they could have got it done, not this close, but look, at the end of the day, Alabama gets the job done against undefeated Missouri. Make sure you guys are subscribed right here to the Alabama Football Report by Chat Sports. We've got any and all Alabama football news waiting for you guys, so do not miss out. Hit that sub button. Stay up to date on all things Alabama news. First up, let's get into some injury news here for the Crimson Tide. A couple of guys that we need to talk about here today. Derek Meadows left in the game today in the first quarter, ended up with a concussion. According to Kalen DeBoer, got knocked out cold in the first quarter on the first drive of the game. Hopefully, he is going to be good to go. All reports were he was on the sidelines in street clothes walking around. So, knock on wood, sounds, at least okay there for Derek Meadows. Was able to at least get on the sidelines for Alabama in this game, after going out with that concussion today. Jam Miller also left at the end of today's game in the fourth quarter. I didn't think that he got hit in the head. But according to Kalen DeBoer, he ended up, with a concussion at the end of today's game. So we'll continue to monitor that and see if he's going to be good for next week's game. But Jam Miller ended up leaving in the fourth quarter with a concussion. All right, let's get into some takeaways for this game today. Hey, at the end of the day, it was good enough. You got the win in today's game today. Should you have won by more than just 3 points in this game today? Yeah, I think Alabama should have won by a larger margin in this game. But look, overall, they played a pretty good game. The defense played pretty well. We get into that here in just a little bit as well. Ty Simpson, did a pretty decent job in this game today. And look, at the end of the day, you held Ahmad Hardy in check today. So, while you would have wished that maybe, hey, this game wasn't as close as it was good enough, and you came away with the win. So get down there at the pinned comment of today's video and grade Alabama versus Missouri. Personally, for me, I think it's a B, but let me know what you guys think down at the pinned comment of today's video. Grade Alabama versus Missouri, A, B, C, D, or F, down at the pinned comment of today's video. Hey, takeaway number 2. The defense was solid. You look at the overall stats, you still gave up, I think, 330 yards in this game today. But Missouri was 1 for 10 on third downs today. Bo Pabula went 16 for 28, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions in today's game. Ahmad Hardy had 12 carries for only 52 yards. He had 100 yards in every single game so far of the season. Just, overall, I thought the defense played a pretty damn good, game in this one today. Bray Hubbard had the interception. Dejon Lee had the game-winning interception at the end of today's game. While you would have wished that maybe you didn't give up 300 yards in this game today, I think, the big key to victory for this game today was keep Ahmad Hardy in check, and you were able to do that as well as getting a couple turnovers in this game. So, the defense, they really did show up, and, at the end of today's game, you had Dejon Lee getting that game-winning interception as well. So, solid job, I thought, by the defense today. All right, we'll continue here in just a second with some more takeaways, but today's show is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every single day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this football season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. I use Prize Picks for so many different types of sporting events, whether it's professional football, baseball, basketball, college sports, MMA, boxing, and so much more. Prize Picks is a ton of fun, and if you guys know ball, you can win real money all season long on Prize Picks. This is what we had cooked up for the power play today. Went with Ahmad Hardy. More than a half touchdown today. Did not get that. Jeremy Bernard went with a more than on just a half touchdown for him today as well. He only had 3 receptions today for 20 yards. No touchdowns for him. And then Ty Simpson went with a more than on 1.5 passing touchdowns. That was the only stat projection that hit for us today. Ty Simpson had 3 touchdowns in this game today, so the other 2 did not hit. Prize Picks is super simple to play. You just pick more or less on 2 player stat projections, on at least 2 player stat projections, and if you get your picks right, you could cash in. Prize Picks, or play Prize Picks to get action on football in more than 40 different states, including California, Texas, Georgia, and yes, Alabama as well. Prize Picks is the only app that offers stacks, which means you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. If you want more than on Josh Allen's pass yards, rush yards, and touchdowns, now you can pick all of them in the same Prize Picks lineup only on Prize Picks. So download the Prize Picks app today and use promo code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's promo code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That link will be down in the description of today's show. It'll also be down at the pinned comment of today's show as well. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. All right, takeaway number 3 for this game today. I thought Ty Simpson was solid. He wasn't great in this game today. He was 23 of 31, 200 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Did have that fumble on the first drive of the second half, which, Missouri was able to recover. They were able to go down there and score a touchdown off of. He did have a couple big runs, I thought, in this game today. It says 10 carries for 7 yards on the ESPN stats here, but there were a couple of really, really big runs by Simpson. Was it his best game? Absolutely not. Was it his worst game? Absolutely not. At the end of the day, I thought Ty Simpson did a pretty decent job outside of that fumble to open up the second half. Do you want better? Yeah, but was it the worst thing in the world? Absolutely not. So what is your one-word reaction to this win versus Missouri? Let me know what you guys think. You can be creative down in the comments section. To me, that's probably my one word. So let me know what you guys think down at the comment section of today's show. Takeaway number 4. I think Michael Carroll has done enough to win that right tackle spot over Wilkin Formby. There were a couple of times in this game today. Let me just look real quick and see if any of these. Yeah, PFF doesn't quite have the early game report for this game today. Wilkin Formby just today, I didn't think there was really a time where Wilkin Formby was in the game that I was very confident in him. Every time that Michael Carroll was in the game, I was confident that Alabama was either going to be able to get a push up front or they were going to be able to really pass protect for Ty Simpson there. I just think at this point in the game that Michael Carroll has done enough to beat out Wilkin Formby for that right tackle spot. Whether or not we really continue to see that, I really don't know. They've really rotated a lot along the offensive line, and I still do think as you go throughout the season, you're going to need Wilkin Formby, but, I've been a guy that has, backed Wilkin Formby a lot throughout the offseason. I backed him a lot throughout last year as well, but at this point, man, Michael Carroll's just playing better football than him right now. So, do I think necessarily that Michael Carroll is going to get 100% of the snaps at that right tackle spot? Maybe not. But I think at this point, we have seen that Michael Carroll should probably at least start at that right tackle spot and even get the majority of the snaps there as well. Takeaway number 5. I really don't know what's up with Ryan Williams right now. Kayla DeBoer kind of touched on this in his post-game press conference a little bit. He said he hobbled off the field at one point, didn't get a chance to practice very much this week. That's kind of why he was on the injury report as, probable for most of the part throughout the, week. He didn't do anything in this game today. I don't even think, if I'm not mistaken, he didn't even have a target in this game today. Didn't have a catch, didn't have a target, anything like that. I don't know what's going on with Ryan Williams right now, but Alabama definitely needs him, especially if they are going to make a run in the college football playoffs, you need Ryan Williams to be able to step up. He's supposedly, supposed to be your superstar right now and didn't have a catch in this game. Don't even think he had a target in this game either. You think about who did have targets in this game. Lotzeir Brooks was your leading receiver, 4 catches, 58 yards. Isaiah Horton was your second leading receiver, only 3 receptions for 38 yards. A big time by the running backs that were able to come in this game. Kavin Riley and Daniel Hill, both of those guys had receiving touchdowns in this game today, but Ryan Williams just wasn't really able to get anything going in this game today. Look, at the end of the day, it's a big win for Alabama going up against undefeated number 14 Missouri. Have Tennessee coming up next week. That's going to be a home game, another ranked opponent for Alabama. That is a night game as well. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the 5th ranked opponent for Alabama coming up next week. So, while you maybe wish that Alabama, and probably think even Alabama should have won this game by, 14, maybe even 21 points today. Hey, at the end of the day, they got the job done, and they face Tennessee next week at home in a night game in Bryant-Denny Stadium. So Alabama wins this one 27-24. Make sure you guys are subscribed right here to the Alabama Football Report, and we see you guys next week as well.